Number nine, don't gossip. The tongue pierces deeper than the sword. Don't let envy or jealousy enter your heart. It's like poison. It will kill you sooner than you think. So let's just tell you why this is important. How many times have you met somebody that all they do is just gossip about everything? What they heard, what someone shared with them. So what does that tell me? If you're gossiping about them, you're gossiping about me. It's inevitable. It's just an inevitable thing. I then put you in a fucking category and say, boom, okay, you're not in my trusted circle. I gotta watch you. If you really want to test somebody, all you have to do is give them something that you've never told anybody, and let's see if it comes out, even with a different rendition. Then when they deny, you're sitting there. This is an old tactic we use. When you're sitting with somebody and you're using horrible words, I took that passage. It's really from the Bible. It says the tongue pierces deeper than the sword. When you hit somebody, they've done studies that psychological abuse is worse than actually physical abuse. And depending on the physicality, we're not talking about being raped or molested. We're talking about getting your shit slapped out of you. When someone tells you something horrendous and you hit them with those words, are you really thinking, how is it going to affect them? I myself have a very sharp tongue. I'm pretty witty. So if I hit you, I know that I got to be very careful in what I say because I pierce deep. And so I like to be very conscious of what I say. And so my mom used to say, if you don't have anything positive to say, just don't say anything. And if anybody who know me personally, you know that I'm pretty quiet. Like I am pretty quiet. I'm good at talking. I'll sit in a conversation with you like that. But if you know me throughout the day, I'm very super quiet. I kind of move in silence. I just kind of keep to myself. I'm like a bear in a cave, and that's how I like to be. And I don't like to be in the mix. And so the less talk for me is the better. I'm a constant performer. I was like that since I was a kid, where my mom would catch me doing my Lincoln logs in one corner or building castles with my Legos or drawing. That's very characteristic as a child. I've continued to carry it. One of the running jokes is they say Jack is one of the best introverts who's a great actor. And so I used to think about, there's a story that came out about Brad Pitt like that they say he's actually very introverted, but behind camera, he's very good. That's a lot like my personality. Jealousy. I cannot really tell you how jealousy feels because I've never been jealous. I can tell you that I'm not jealous of people. I'm going to break it down in jealousy in multiple facets. One of the craziest things is someone's around you, they see your success, and all of a sudden they're jealous and they start to say this. Have you seen so-and-so's car? Have you seen so-and-so do this? Have you seen so-and-so do this? And they continue to tell you the so-and-so story, right? I laugh and think, this is what I really want to say, but I don't pierce deep. I want to say, are you and so-and-so in a relationship that I don't know about? Because holy fuck, I didn't know you swung that way. Ultimately, when you're talking about so-and-so, the individual across the table has a little smile and looking and saying, what have you done? When you're talking about somebody that you've never met in your life and you're trying to compare them to what you're doing, that is the funniest thing. You're a fucking clown. You look so stupid, I can't even tell. Be happy for people. I genuinely, when I wake up and I see someone and they want to show me their Mustang GT or their souped up Honda or their fucking moped, I am genuinely happy for you. I'm like, wow, that's really freaking cool. I'm not sitting there, well, oh my God, well, I have Lamborghinis. No, I don't care. I am always genuinely happy for every individual's success, and no matter what the measurable is. I've been to dinners where people put on their best meal, and they're like, so what you guys think? And then you have some chick pipe up and be like, well, you should taste my fucking blueberry muffins. And I want to think, What does the blueberry muffins have to do with roast beef? That doesn't even make any sense to me whatsoever. How many times have someone, you go and you show your art and they're talking about some fucking dude that's painting shit in Miami? Or have you seen this? And I want to laugh my fucking ass off. Because I'm like, so-and-so doesn't give shit about you. You wouldn't be able to get a meeting with them. And you're here talking about, you're putting down a local artist or someone that's done something in your community that you do know on a first name basis that one day is going to do something great. And all you're going to be able to do is sit back and say, I knew them once. Every somebody successful started somewhere. We all started at the bottom. And so be very careful when you're putting your negative opinions, you're letting jealousy, because you do not know who that person's going to become. And if you just follow the golden rule of treat others as you want to be treated, then you don't got to worry about it. It doesn't come all complex. But I'm going to tell you, that's jealousy number one. Or you're jealous of your partner. I've seen many times where there's a couple, regardless if it's a same-sex couple or a heterosexual couple, and all of a sudden, here's the guy jealous of this woman because she's doing great things or got a promotion, and, well, why do you want to do this? Or why do you want to be the man of the house? And I sit there and I'm like, well, fucking man up and do something bigger so your woman doesn't have to work, doesn't have to do the shit she's doing. Have you thought about it that way? But all you're doing is sitting there and you're just trying to literally chip down at the building. That's a very scary person. I call that a frenemy. You have somebody in your camp and they're really actually jealous of you, of your successes. And they're there like you can see the little smirky shit. You have somebody in your camp. Guys, I've been dealing with this since I was in third grade. I had the biggest marble sack. My best friend told my enemy, broke my marbles. At that point, I said, nobody will have access to what I know. I don't give a fuck. You have a cool-ass gun, and all of a sudden, well, have you seen so-and-so? They built it. And I'm like, well, I don't think so-and-so can build better than HK. I don't think so-and-so's better craftsmanship than the guys in Lamborghini. All I'm saying is, don't be that person. Be happy for that person. Be happy for their successes. Be happy. Don't let jealousy enter you. Jealousy will literally become a poison in your soul and your heart, and it'll consume you, and that's all you're going to be able to think about in your soil. You're not going to be able to grow anything in your soil because you're going to be so consumed. Jealousy is one of the fucking wickedest shits in life. I stay in my lane. I only look at my freeway. I look at my runway, and I'm not caring about what's on the other side of the runway, on the side of me. I stay in my runway. That's where I'm at. So when you apply that and you look at that, do you really want to be in cahoots, or do you want to be associating with somebody who's always jealous, who doesn't have anything positive to say, who's, oh, I've done that, and they're telling you this because they're wanting to take a dig at you. They're taking that sucker punch. There's a meme that I saw one day, and it says, be careful who you feed. And it's this man feeding this lion, and the lion becomes full grown, and then the lion is eating them. What was that intention? Well, that person had envy for you. And I learned from a master a long time about, he says, I will never show you everything I know in case I need to undo you. And I never quite could understand that. I was talking to Joel Myers the other day, and we're talking about just human people. How many times have you tried to build somebody and they actually want to dethrone you? And I'm sitting there in my mind thinking, what the fuck is wrong with these people nowadays? The weight training people I've had in my life, Al Showman, Mick Sopin, Luke, my martial arts teacher, I didn't never wake up and think, man, one day I want to outdo Al. One day I want to outdo Mick. No. They were the fucking forefathers of helping me get to where I'm at. Without them, I wouldn't have built the certain muscle density that I had. I wasn't trying to dethrone the people that taught me technology. I've always been a good fucking team player. I just want to be LeBron James upon my peers. But I'm not trying to dethrone the coach. I'm not trying to become the owner of the fucking Lakers. That's the dumbest shit ever in life. It's not going to get you anywhere. But all that does to you is the individual across the table that helped you grow. All you're doing, what if you grow this garden and now you think, well, I'm going to dethrone the guy? But literally, do you know is that he's the master of the water rights. And he shuts the water, and now all your crops die. Stupidity. At the end of the day, learn respect. Pay homage to the people that help you get there. Never try to dethrone them. That is the most disrespectful thing that I've ever heard in my life. You will never get nowhere. I know for myself, I would never be in the position that I am in technology if it wasn't for the Salazar brothers. I know that I wouldn't be at the level of fitness if it wasn't for Al Shulman. I know that I would never be at the level of martial arts if it wasn't for Luke Logan. I know that I wouldn't be at the level of and stuff that I learned in fiber optics if it wasn't for the people at Lucent Technologies. I know that I wouldn't have the confidence in mathematics if it wasn't for the Maximo Gurule who sat with me and worked with me. I know that I wouldn't be at the level of perfection in the shit that I do if it wasn't for my mother. I know that I wouldn't be in the level that I'm at of my hard work ethic and just get it done bullshit if it wasn't for my father. I wouldn't have the wisdom of the stuff that I talk about the most if it wasn't for my grandfather John, who taught me things way past what I could have ever learned in school or anything. I know that I couldn't be at the level of where I'm at if I wouldn't have learned how to cook burgers at Lotta Burger and the manager teaching me why it was so important. Don't be jealous. Lift those who have lifted you. Do not try to dethrone them. You will never get nowhere. You're going to fall flat on your ass. You don't know how many times I've been in positions where people have tried to dethrone me, and I literally want to just drop a missile on you and really say, are you fucking kidding me? We're not even in the same stratosphere. That's what I'm talking about, guys. So it goes again with the respect, but do not let jealousy enter your heart. Don't be jealous of anybody. Don't be jealous of your spouse. Don't be jealous of your girlfriend. Don't be jealous of your partner. Don't be jealous of your boss. Don't be jealous of the banker. Don't be jealous of your neighbor. Focus on yourself.